this is Eric. So today I thought that I would go through some of my comic books from the 1980s that I acquired when I was a kid. And actually, instead of focusing on the comic book itself, I thought we would take a look at some of the advertisements on the back cover of the comic book. So I have a small stack here of just some comics that I took out of their bags and boards for easiness sake today, and just going to take a look at and talk a little bit about the advertisements. Some are funny, some remind me of my childhood, old candies and games and things like that. So hopefully you enjoy it. So let's take a look here. Let's flip the first one over. Well, first of all, this is Iron Man number 218. So I'm not sure exactly. It was 75 cents. Looks like 1987. 1987. And then here we have, oh my gosh, I remember these candies. Bonkers candies. They were my favorite for a while. When I was probably in elementary school, Bonkers were, it mentions Bonkers up here, but also talks about something else that I used to enjoy when I was a child. Bonkers candies were, if I remember them correctly, I think they were like a starburst, and inside was a gooey center. And I remember they must have had a good marketing campaign, because I think their commercials were kind of goofy, and I know they were very popular. But also, it looks like this is paired with Ugly Balls. Now, I don't know about Ugly Balls, but I do remember Mad Balls. Mad Balls were soft, kind of foam balls that look like this, and they had all kinds of gory and gruesome and just ugly types of faces on them. That, of course, would be very appealing to an elementary school boy, but it looks like you can mail away. It says, little does Captain Clueless know, Ugly Balls are free from Bonkers Chewy Candy. So basically it seems like if you send a proof of purchase, a UPC symbol, from 10 Bonkers candies, so you have to buy 10 Bonkers candies, and they give you a little picture of what that looks like, and then you send it away, and they will mail you back apparently one of these Ugly Balls. So that's interesting. I've always wanted to mail some of these things now. Probably would not be as nearly as fun as I thought. I would just get a no address found return to sender or something like that. Here we have Star Wars number 85. And let me see, whoops, this is July of 84, 1984. Looks like they're in a place maybe where they shouldn't be. But what else is new? Let's see what the ad. Oh, look at this. I have a little bit of a glare. Sorry about that. You're into Atari computers. So are we. So here's a Parker Brothers advertisement for some Atari games. It looks like Frogger. That's a nice little frog up there. Popeye. There's Popeye and Cubert. So it says Frogger, Popeye, and Cubert from Parker Brothers Arcade Action Series. They make your Atari computer feel as close to the arcade as you can get. I guess back then that was true. These games were amazing. I've played Frogger. I grew up with an Atari 2600, and I actually purchased the new revamp of that one. That it looks just like the Atari 2600, but it has modern HDMI connections, but it plays all the old games. I actually bought a lot of used games from eBay from someone, over 100 games, and most of them worked, and it was really cool. So I have that now, and as someone once said to me, or as one of my children said to me, this is so old, it's actually cool. So I thought that was a funny comment. Here we have The Punisher. I never read The Punisher. I know some people who are really into it. I don't know. I just seem to have gotten this comic book somehow. What is this for? Oh, another video game advertisement. I guess it makes sense. Comic books and video games. Turbo Graphics 16-bit. Wow. This was something that I only could dream about having back in the day. This is definitely something that was above my pay grade as a child. I think there was one kid in my school who had this, and yeah, it's a big deal. So it says the difference between new TurboGrafx 16 and other video game systems is all in your head. So TurboGrafx 16 is the video game system that's built around a 16-bit graphics processor. Compared to the 8-bit systems you're used to, it's 4 times faster with better graphics, almost 10 times as many colors, head-splitting stereo sound, and deeper, more challenging gameplay. Wow. Sounds pretty good, and it was amazing at the time, but never had it. And here we have some Silver Surfer. Let's see, number 5, November. This is from 1987. Oh, I remember these advertisements. Meatloaf, God rest his soul. Meatloaf, humongous rock star of the universe in Heroes, helping heroes. So here, this is a little comic strip that in the end basically just tells you to mail back this cutout here on the back of the comic. And what do you get? It says the superheroes need 250,000 of their friends to help the 1987 International Summer Special Olympics Games. Please help if you can. So you're checking off, yes, I'm ready to become a superhero by sending $5 for a record or cassette of the official theme song and theme music of the 1987 International Summer Special Olympics Games. And a portion of that goes towards the games. That's nice. Although they're clearly advertising Meatloaf more than the Special Olympics Games, because there's nothing on here, as far as I can see, that mentions the games, or at least not too obviously. It's sure it says it in the first window, but there's no symbol, there's nothing. I thought maybe it would be a little more visible or obvious, but clearly they're trying to get your attention with Meatloaf. Good old Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Oh, Indiana Jones, one of my favorites, and the Temple of Doom. You see, I'm somewhat unique, I think, when I talk about the Indiana Jones movies with fellow Indiana Jones enthusiasts. Usually, Temple of Doom is not the number one favorite movie of the series for some of my friends. However, Temple of Doom is my favorite in the series. I just love love the setting. Sure, the cult is a little unusual, but I do enjoy some of the unique scenes of that movie. And oh, Star Wars. Now, here is something that I can look back on and appreciate how far we've come with video games, but at the same time, also appreciate how it doesn't take a very complex graphics game to make a good video game. So you can see in the person's classes that what you're supposed to be is flying your X-Wing fighter in one of the Death Star trenches, at least in this part of the game. And all you're doing is literally moving up and down around lines. You can see there's no real color. It's just lines and dark space. And you would have to move up and down and over and around those blockades in the trench and eventually try to shoot down some of the ships that were fighting against you. I loved it. I remember playing it in the arcade. We used to go to a ground round, and this game was in the ground round, and I used to beg for quarters to play, and then I eventually got it from my Atari, but I think it was a little different, which disappointed me, but either way, awesome game. Oh, here's a funny one. Chuck Norris, Karate Commandos. I mean, who doesn't love Chuck Norris, right? I love those memes, those Chuck Norris memes. And what is this? If Party Popple picked a pack of Popple pals, who'd be the new perky, playful pals Party Popple picked? I don't know what this is. Popples. Apparently they're selling Popples. There are new sport balls, baby Popples, rock stars, puffling Popples. It looks like they're little fuzzies that are in pouches. I don't quite get it, but it was the 80's. There are a lot of things I don't get. G.I. Joe Special Missions. Let's see, this is from 87 again. I must have grabbed the stack from the same time period. What's back here? Ooh, a little D&D. Welcome to basic training. So we have some Dungeons and Dragons advertisement here, and they're selling Don't Be Deceived by the Name. The only thing basic about Dungeons and Dragons set number 1 is how easy it makes it to begin your quest. You'll be armed with everything you need, including the player's guide for beginning characters, a 64-page volume loaded with simple as well as expert combat rules and role-playing tips. The Dungeon Master's Handbook, a cache of treasures, monsters, and dungeons. So this looks like set number 1 to get you started if you'd like to get into Dungeons and Dragons by TSR. So Dungeons and Dragons is it's a really fun game, very creative, but you do have to invest some time in learning how to play, and you need a good Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master is something that really can make or break, I think, a good D&D game. X Factor. Boom Boom's back. Got me. Oh, another Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, but now we jump to set 5. So let's see. What year is this then? This is 1987. Alright, so same year. So they must have been releasing a lot of D&D sets looks, that guy's pretty serious, I guess. We got two more here. Here we have the Incredible Hulk. Always good to see the Hulk smashing something. Definitely smashing something. Oh, I can grab it. Okay. What do we have here? TSR game. Top Secret, the espionage role-playing game. So let's see, is this a board game or a video game? Assume the role of your favorite super spy from movies, television, or books. Equip yourself with everything from a Beretta to a bazooka, a Lear to a Lamborghini, and step into the ring, the spy ring. The all-new Top Secret SI game. The world's first espionage role-playing game just got better. So I think it's a board game. I wonder if it's something like Dungeons and Dragons. Might be something like Dungeons and Dragons. Never played it. Never actually, don't recall even hearing about it. I know TSR, but I don't recall hearing about this game at all. And here we have ROM, Space Knight. Here is this. I don't read ROM either. This is from, where is the year? 1979. 1979. Let's take a look. What's back here? Hey, good old Legos. Good old Legos. Why is my camera doing that? Okay. Let's stop camera. Okay. Camera. Okay. Camera was misbehaving there a little bit. Hey, Lego sets. I can recall when I was a kid, Lego sets, the way they're very popular now, weren't as popular back when I was a kid. Or at least I don't recall that. I recall buying or having lots of loose Legos and then building whatever you want. But here goes to show that maybe I was not in the Lego world as much as others, because this is the Lego Expert Builder series, and it looks like you can build some machinery that actually works, which is pretty cool. You can see how the edges and the surfaces of the Lego bricks on the set aren't as refined and smooth as they are today. I think today they would figure out a way to have the edges smooth and possibly some plastic glass. Make the wheels look more, make everything really look a little more authentic. But this is pretty cool. So those were some 80's advertisements, maybe one from 79. And I hope you enjoy that. Again, any suggestions you might have, anything you'd like to see, let me know, and we'll see if I can make it a video out of it. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.